Heh heh. Welcome to the Vault of Horror, idiots. This is your host in horrendous happenings, the Vault Keeper, ready to read another revolting revelation from my creepy collection. So, settle down on that park bench there and I'll begin. This story is told by one Martin Doc Weems, a resident of Plainville. He calls it Chessmate. Suddenly, the gaiety and the air of festivity that had covered my town like confetti and tinsel and pink and green streamers is gone, and we all stand about in a hushed, terrified silence, staring down at the lifeless body lying in the gutter, the body of Zeb Taylor. I look at my townsfolk, at Mayor Cornwall, and the other members of the Chambers of Commerce, at the merchants and the businessmen, and I wonder if my face is as ashen and painted with horror as theirs are. Hoarsely I whisper, That was something I never figured on. That was something I never expected. I'll never forgive myself for letting him come here today. I look down at Zeb, lovable, brilliant old Zeb, lying dead at my feet. Poor old Zeb. All he ever wanted to do was sit on his favorite bench in the town park, in his old stovepipe hat and his threadbare coat, with his chessboard beside him, set and ready, waiting for someone to come along. That's the way I'll always remember him. Howdy, Zeb. Howdy, Doc. Care for a game? Doc. That's what Zeb always called me. Not that I am a doctor. My father, may he rest in peace, was the doctor. But Zeb called me Doc. In honor of my dad, perhaps. Alright, Zeb. I'll try my luck today. Chess is no game of luck, Doc. It's brain work. All brain work. Yes, that's all that Zeb Taylor wanted out of life. Just to sit with his townsfolk, the people he loved, and play chess with them. That's how Zeb earned his livelihood, playing chess. Shall we make it $1 today, Zeb? Suit yourself, Doc. Zeb was the best chess player I'd ever seen. No one in town could beat him. But we'd play him anyway, and we'd bet. A dime, $1, whatever we could afford. Those dimes and dollars that Zeb invariably won kept him in grub. That's checkmate, Doc. Zeb, I'll bet you're the best chess player in the country. Zeb would always grin up at me from under his battered hi-hat and wink. You know why, Doc? Yep, Zeb, I guess I do. Well, I gotta be getting along. See ya. Everyone in town loved Zeb. He was like a fixture, a tradition. Hardly anyone alive remembers the day before Zeb started coming down to his park bench with his chess set and sitting there in his stovepipe hat and beating the pants off everyone who played him in a game. Dang, blast it. Checkmate. Phil, who's next? Me, old genius. But we'll never forget the day Evan Morgsky came to our sleepy little village. Evan Morgsky was the number 2 seeded chess player in the country. He'd heard about Zeb Taylor and came 2,000 miles to play him. Sit down, Mr. Morgsky. An honor, Mr. Taylor. Oh, what a chess game that was. It lasted almost 2 whole days. Naturally, we all rooted for Zeb, but he didn't need our support. He outmaneuvered Morgsky all the way. Won, hands down. Mr. Taylor, all I can say is that you're probably the best chess player in the whole world. I bow to your superiority. Thank you kindly, Mr. Morgsky. I remember how Mayor Cornwall stepped up to Mr. Morgsky and introduced himself. You are to be congratulated, Mayor. If Mr. Taylor here ever placed the international chess champion, he would no doubt win and bring fame to your fine city. That so, Mr. Morgsky? Absolutely. Mayor Cornwall, you should try to convince him to enter the international tournaments in San Francisco next month. What about it, Zeb? For Plainville? No, thank you, Mayor. I'm not leaving Plainville. I like it here. Too bad. You feel that way, Mr. Taylor. You would play some of the world's best chess players before hundreds and hundreds of chess enthusiasts, and you'd win, I'm sure of it. Thanks just the same, Mr. Morgsky, but I'm not interested. Zeb. I remember how Mayor Cornwall pleaded with Zeb. Zeb, this is a chance to put Plainville on the map. Think of your neighbors and friends who would benefit by the tourist trade. People coming here to see you, to play you. I'm sorry, Mayor. Here I am, and here I'll stay. Perhaps if I were to speak to some people. Morgsky dropped the bombshell in the mayor's lap. Perhaps we could hold the tournament here. I cannot see such superior talent wasted. Here, Mr. Morgsky? You would hold the tournament here? In Plainville? I think it could be arranged. If I told the members of the tournament committee about Mr. Taylor, I'm sure they would consider holding it here. No. Zeb stood up angrily. No. I won't do it. I won't enter any tournament, here or anywhere. Zeb, think of what this could mean. Zeb picked up his chessmen, popped them into a box, and folded his board. Is this how you repay us, Zeb Taylor? We've been good to you. We've sat with you and played chess with you and lost good money to you, even though we knew we'd lose. Is this really how you repay us? I'm sorry you feel that way, Mayor. Good day. I remember how everyone stared after Zeb as he strode off, how the mayor turned to me. Weems, can't you reason with him? Think of the boom this town would have if the international chess tournaments were held here. My hotel would be jammed. My bar would be drained dry. My store shelves would be cleaned. We'd all make money. Weems, talk to him. I shrugged my shoulders. I'll see what I can do, gentlemen. Mr. Morgsky, you speak to your committee. We'll take care of Zeb. Good. Such brain power deserves recognition. He is truly a genius, a remarkable genius. That night, I reported to the members of the Chambers of Commerce. I'm sorry to report, gentlemen, that Zeb Taylor still refuses to participate in any tournament. He does not want fame or publicity. I can't do anything with him. Why, the old ungrateful. Then we'll have to cancel our plans and wire Morgsky. The mayor stood up. Gentlemen, I have an idea. We do not wire Morgsky. Let him go ahead with his plans. I think that a boycott of Mr. Taylor by everyone in town will soon bring him around. In fact, just about in time for the tournaments. And so the boycott of Zeb Taylor started. No one would speak to him. He sat for days on his park bench beside his chess set without playing a single game. Howdy, Clem. Care for a... Humph. I was the only person who talked to Zeb. They're pretty sore at me, aren't they, Doc? They're thinking about their pocketbooks, Zeb. You know I can't stand any publicity, Doc. I know, Zeb, but I don't see why you can't enter a tournament, especially if they hold it here, in Plainville. But they'll probably hold it in the town hall so they could charge admission, and that means being indoors. And you know I can't go indoors without... I'll fix it, Zeb. I swear, I'll fix it. Well, if you can fix it, I'll agree to enter the tournament. It's a deal, Zeb. I reported to the Chamber of Commerce. Zeb will agree to enter the tournament on one condition, that he plays his opponent on his usual bench in the park. But how would we charge admission if it's outdoors? You figure it out, Mayor. That's Zeb's condition. We'll rope off the park and erect a grandstand around the bench, and pray it doesn't rain. I went back to Jeb and told him the news. I've fixed it, Jeb. You'll play on your usual bench in the park, outdoors. All right, Doc, but I'll be prepared, just in case. I'll never be able to face them if... The opening day of the International Chess Tournaments dawned bright and clear. All week long, people had been streaming into Plainville, and the cash registers had been clanging away. Now, the official day had arrived. I drove out to pick up Zeb. Everybody's waiting for you, Zeb. Let's go. I'm worried, Doc. Something's bound to go wrong. What could go wrong, Zeb? It's just like it's always been. You'll be outdoors, you can wear your old high hat. I'm still worried. The town was jammed. Everybody applauded Zeb as he climbed onto the hastily erected platform. And here he is, folks. Zeb Taylor, Plainville's mental wonder. Start the parade. I remember how the chill curled up my back as, beyond the square, a band struck up a brassy march and the crowd cleared a path. Doc, a parade. I know, Zeb, I know. I didn't figure on this. And then the flag coming down the street, coming by the platform, and everyone taking off their hats and putting them over their hearts, and Zeb standing there, confused, frightened. Hey, Zeb, it's the American flag. Take off your hat. Hey, Zeb. I remember Zeb lifting his hand to his old stovepipe hat while he looked at me with that helpless, resigned expression, and the crowd staring at him in horror and disgust and revulsion as he removed it. Good Lord! Ugh! And the 2 shots that rang out. Zeb! My God! Don't! So now I stand with the rest of my townsfolk staring down at Zeb Taylor's dead body, and I say, I never figured on the parade, or the flag, or else I would not have let him come here today. You see, I knew about Zeb. When my father died, he left me all his records. I read about the strange birth. Back before the turn of the century, Zeb Taylor's mother gave birth to twins. My father was the attending physician. My wife, doctor, how is she? She's fine, Mr. Taylor. It's your twins. They're Siamese twins. Yes, Zeb Taylor was one of a pair of Siamese twins joined together at the tops of their heads. Can't you separate them, doctor? No, Mr. Taylor, the 2 brains are joined together. Separating the twins there would kill them both. But we can't leave them like this for the rest of their lives. Well, Mr. Taylor, if you folks will agree to a plan I have, I could separate them, and both would remain alive, in a sense. Mr. and Miss Taylor agreed, and there, in that farmhouse kitchen, with his limited instruments, my father separated the Taylor Siamese twins by decapitating Zeb's twin brother head from his body, leaving it joined to Zeb's head. I looked down at Zeb Taylor. That's why Zeb always wore a high hat, to cover his other head, and that's why he was such a mental marvel. He has 2 brains, but he could never face you all, knowing you knew his secret, so he shot himself. Heh heh. Get it, kiddies? That's why there were 2 shots. In order to commit suicide, Zeb had to blow both his brains out. Well, that's Doc's story, and is he glad he got it off his chest? Of course he still can't sleep at night. He keeps looking at Zeb, lying in the gutter, with the 2 neat queen holes in his head. Oh my, aching back. What awful palms. I'd better turn to you back to the old witch. As the bebopper said when he saw the New York skyline, dig that crazy chess set. Bye.